I also believe that if you were to be your best possible player, the best possible player that you could possibly be, no, all money aside, you would have an open bag. That's a
Mm-hmm.
hot take, but I mean, every single pro, if they don't say that, that is that's false. It's got to be false. There is. Then you have to make the decision. Okay, like for me, for example, I made a business decision when I left Innova to go to Prodigy. They had one disc. We went up and down with all kinds of crazy discs. We had some big time flops when I was with that company. I think we came out with like a M5. It had a little divot around the rim. It was an awful
Sick.
disc. It was an awful disc, right? That's what we had. If I had an open bag, would I have been better? Yeah, 100%. When I left Prodigy to come to Discraft, I had offers, but Discraft makes a lot of good discs. They make a lot of good ones. They don't make, I can't, if I, and then now we have more discs than we had before, right? But at the time, it was kind of a no-brainer. It was like the best of both worlds.
Where I see this going
Do
is
you agree, though? Open bag.
well, I mean, the idea that, hey, you either have to only throw these discs or you can throw whatever disc you want. Which one are you going to be better at? Yeah, obviously the one that whichever disc you want. But I think this has 100% to do with the purse earnings, the tournament earnings. If the tournament earnings grow and get to the point of where the majority of people on tour are making more money by winning tournaments or getting top tens in tournaments than their manufacturer sponsor, now I think at that point in time, it goes from the manufacturers having all the power. Now it goes to the players having all the power.
Yeah.
Because I'm no longer dependent on getting this manufacturer. I'm making $1 million a year by winning tournaments and playing disc golf. The $250,000 I'm getting from Discraft, that's nice, but it's not a make or break for me. So when that shift happens, now I think what could happen is the players being like, you can be my driver sponsor. Discraft, you're my driver sponsor. MVP, I'm going to putt with your putters. Prodigy, you are going to be my mids.
Yeah.
And Innova, you're going to be my fairway drivers. I see that happening when people are not dependent as heavily on the manufacturer contracts.
Yeah, that makes sense too. That also makes sense. And then if you look across the board, I mean, you look at the two companies that have the most success at the very top, and it's been Discraft and Innova for a very long time. They have a great lineup. They have great lineups.
And if you want me to throw all of Discraft, guess what? You got to pay, right? Like that's,
yeah.
If you want the whole bag, you got to pay. So I don't foresee everyone going open bag, but I could see a lot more players go open bag when that ends up shifting that direction. So, and I think right now the reason why we're seeing a lot of players go open bag is solely just based off of they're not able to get the deals that they want or that they feel they're valued with the manufacturers that do everything.
Yeah,
that's I don't know for that to be a fact. That is my speculation, but my guess would be if I asked the guys that and girls that are signing with these open bag sponsors or with a retailer, whatever it is, if I went to them and said, hey, Innova will whatever this contract you have, Innova will do exactly that. I have a hard time believing any of them truthfully would turn that down.
Okay, let me ask you this. I said I opened up that take with like there's always a number.
Yep.
What would be the number for you to have to play with lightning discs?
What's that?
Exactly. Let's just say no fast drivers. Okay.
Okay.
And like It's just like picture this. Picture like a Walmart putter,
Yeah.
and like just something that flies max 400 feet if you hit it right. What's the number you play on tour?
So I'm already an average tour player, pretty much right in the middle, right? Like I think I finished 37th last year.
Yep.
So pretty much right in the middle of tour card players, because I think there's 80 or so,
Yep.
82 maybe. And now you're going to handicap me.
Big time. So you're basically giving up your career.
I'm selling out. No, I'm selling out. This is 100% a sellout, and my number would be, I'll do it for $5 million for 1 year.
$5 million 1 year.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do like a 10-year 5, or
Wait,
I mean,
what? 10 years for $5 million? What are you talking about?
Whoa. 5 years, 10 mil?
No, 5 years?
Yeah.
I need like, no, because I'm just that you just ruined my whole. I probably only have 5 more good years.
I know.
So I don't know if I would ever do.
Okay, so then, how much are you gonna make? How much are you gonna lose?
Well,
Because this is good. This is good for the public to realize. Like,
here's the other thing.
People are like, "Oh, sell out. You're just doing it for the money and blah 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 blah." That's 100% false, because I'm not gonna
help them make better discs.
No, you're stuck with what they give you.
Okay. They're not. Okay. So there's no
they're just
like
paying you to sell these whatever discs they have.
Okay. Yeah.
See, because that means that your value of your competitive nature is worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money because you're not going to go out there and just.
It's all. Yeah. It's also. For me too. I'm a little bit. I think this is a little bit of a different question, or a different answer for other pros, like newer pros that, I mean, I've already had a full career in Ultimate Frisbee. So I've already done a full, like, if I didn't do any disc golf, I would have been very satisfied with what I did in my, professional sports career, if you will. So I think I'm a little bit of a different world than, you asked this question to Kyle Klein. I think his answer is drastically different than mine, but I still want to compete at a high level. Yeah, it's a great question. I still want to compete at a very high level. So I feel like I'd be willing to take a handicap for a little bit of time, but then it's like, all right, let me get back to discs that I can actually throw properly. Maybe I'm better once I get back, because I'm like, holy cow, I had to throw all this crap for a while.
Imagine cash, like it'd just be like the most amazing cash ever. You're just throwing 400-foot rollers. Your roller's the only shot you can throw, or 300 feet.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of Ultimate Frisbee, our next question: with Ultimate Frisbees being quite understable, how are you able to find comfort in something so contrasting like the Zone OS and the Buzz OS? Okay, so I wasn't. That to answer your question, when I started throwing discs and holding discs for the first time, and basically I think it was in 2020, they felt awful. It felt terrible. I hated the feeling. And then every time you gave me an Ultra Star, it's like, all right, thank God, like this is what a disc should feel like. Now I'm at the point of where if you hand me an Ultra Star, I'm like, holy cow, like how was I ever able to throw this thing? It feels big, it feels clunky, it doesn't feel good. So it's just a time thing. It's simple as that. Times, reps, you eventually get comfortable with it. So at the beginning, I wasn't very comfortable with it. I've told a story on here. I don't know if it was your Raptor, Yuli, or Bob just handed me a random Raptor at Memorial, which was like the first disc golf tournament I ever went to back in 2020. This was like, I think in March, I believe. I threw it and I was like, who would ever want to throw that disc? That disc is so bad, because it just was far too overstable for the way I was throwing. Where now, obviously, it's a disc that I throw all the time. So it's simple as changing my form, getting reps, time, all those things. I eventually got comfortable with it.